In order for you to do more, you have to know more. But you got to know more from the right people. So the first basic is, who do you listen to? All right. Key information. Okay. Take this time right now and ask yourself, who are the top 5 people in my life who I listen to? Okay. Once you've identified those 5 people, okay, look at their lifestyle. Do they have the lifestyle that you want? Do they drive the dream car that they've always wanted? Do they live in the house that they dream of? Are they happy? Are they living out their dreams? You got to pay attention to this stuff. Okay? Because if you show me your friends, I'll show you your future. So this is not something that we just throw it under the rug, guys. This is something that we got to really pay attention to. This is key information. Okay? So that's number one, which is, who do you listen to? Number two is your teachability index. This is important. Now, how do you measure your teachability index? You measure your teachability index by, number one, your willingness to learn, and number two, your willingness to change. Okay. So you measure your teachability index by, number one, your willingness to learn, and number two, your willingness to change. Okay. So let's talk about the first one that measures your teachability index, your willingness to learn. Now, I want you to sit down and ask yourself this question. How many hours a day do you dedicate to learning something new, to learning new information? Okay. Like, where you sit down and you read, where you sit down and listen to audios with intention, not just reading a book while picking up your phone and with people around you, or listening to an audio and taking notes, like, or going to events and not being serious about it. Like, yes, I know there's people out there who are willing to learn, but there's a difference between learning and intentional learning. Okay. You see, if you're listening to this right now and you're just listening, then you're not really intentionally listening to this. I want you to know that, right? This is not intentional learning. You know what's intentional learning is if you're listening to this and you have all distractions off, it's just you and me right now on this podcast during this moment right now. You have a pen and paper in front of you and you're taking notes, you're pausing, you're going back. Okay, let me pick that up. If you're on this call right now, if you're on this podcast, all right, and you have a pen and paper in front of you and you're taking notes and you're pausing and you're going back and forth with me and you're taking down the notes, that's what you call intentional learning right there. Not saying that if you're just listening to it, it's not intentional, but you got to ask yourself, if you're just listening to this, okay, and there's somebody next to you who's listening, taking notes, highlighting, pausing, continuing, so on and so forth, who you think is being more intentional about listening to this podcast right now? Him or you? The other person, obviously. Because remember, okay, 95% of the things you don't write down, you forget, because you only retain 5% of the information that you don't write down. Okay. So intentional learning is so important. Okay. And that's why reading the books every day, like I do for 30 to 45 minutes every day, is vital to my success. Okay. Listening to audios every day, multiple hours a day, is vital to my success. Okay. Calling my mentors a few times a week to just have somebody else that knows more than me pour into me is also very important. Okay. Jumping on Mornings with Nano for me is also always that I pour into myself, family. And I do this every day, willingness, okay, to learn. There's a difference between someone who just wants to learn and there's someone who has the willingness. That means that you're willing to show up every day through the ups, through the downs. Okay, willingness is than just wanting. Okay, if you just want to learn, that's okay. You'll show up when you want to learn. But when you're willing to learn, that means that it doesn't matter what's going on in your life. You could be going through a breakup, you could be going through a financial crisis, you could be going through even a death in your family, and you still take the time to learn every single day. You still take the time every day to read the book, to listen to the audios, to invest into yourself. That's the willingness to learn, guys. So I want you guys to really ask yourself, yo, am I really willing, or do I just want to learn? All right. You see, I want you to know right now, in order for you to have a high teachability index, you have to have the willingness to learn. And like I said, that willingness is that true savageness. Like, no matter what, through the weekend, even if you stayed up and partied all night last night and you woke up hangover, like, it's showing up even on those days to learn that matters. Like, that's what true willingness is, family. And that's what I want you guys to embody, because I know what it has taken for me to get to where I'm at today. And it took true willingness to learn. Okay. Investing into myself hundreds and thousands of dollars into books, events, audios, courses, mentorship. Thousands have been invested into this stuff. You know why? Because I want to learn, guys. I want to learn all the information, and a lot of the information that I teach you guys on these podcasts. This is 1% of 1% information right here. Like, even this that I'm teaching you right now, this is not information that they teach you in school. Okay, it's not information that you could, just find anywhere. This is information that, you got to go to the right source to find. These are the 5 basics of success right here. This is the bread and butter of everything. Okay, so understand that, learning is important, because it's not about what you can do, it's about what you can teach at the end of the day. All right. And what you can teach is what leads to duplication, and duplication leads to momentum. So you got to be willing to learn, because it's all about what you can teach as well. And that's very, very, very important. So that's the first thing that determines your willingness to learn, which is, sorry, that's the first thing that determines your teachability index, which is your willingness to learn. Okay. Now, a lot of people have a very high willingness to learn. Okay. They go to the events, they buy the books, they listen to the audios, they invest into themselves. But for some reason, they still don't have the results. For some reason, they seem to never make any real progress. Why do you think that is? Well, that's what the second part of the teachability index covers, which is their willingness to change. You see, your willingness to change is everything. You see, you can have a teachability index on a scale of 1 to 10. Okay. You measure it by the both, right? You measure it by the willingness to learn and the willingness to change. You can have a willingness to learn at a 10. Okay. But if your willingness to change is 0, then your teachability index is 0. So it doesn't matter how much you learn, it's about how much you apply from what you learn. Okay, so in order for this to work, all right, you have to apply the information that you are learning on a day to day basis. Because, like you guys all know, knowledge is not power, applied knowledge, it is. Okay, so have all right, guys, let's get the day started. Let's get this amazing call started. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Mornings with Nano YouTube and Instagram edition. I'm super blessed and very grateful. I am your host, Nano Torres, and I'm super excited to be on today's call. I'm feeling really good. Anytime I get a chance to, finish my full routine right before Mornings with Nano, it's always a phenomenal day. Real quick, if you've done your full morning routine already, you're feeling good, you're ready to take notes, put a 333 in the chat box. If you guys are feeling good this morning, you're feeling on top of the world, everything is working in your favor, you're excited to go out there and attack the day. Everything is, exactly what you want to be. You're expecting miracles, you're getting miracles, and everything is working in your for all of you. I just finished up my full morning routine. You know, study, I did my prayer, my visualization was so clear today. Reading today, as you guys know, I'm currently reading this book, Psycho Cybernetics. So it's been a phenomenal read so far for me. I did my journaling today. I did some scripting this morning, which was absolutely great. Did some scripting this morning, so I'm grateful for the scripting that I had this morning, and just overall phenomenal morning. Feeling good. Went to the gym, had a really good back and tricep workout, and then a good little sauna session with some planking in there as well. So overall, guys, I'm feeling on top of the world, and it just feels good to be able to come on here and attack the day with all of you as well. Now, real quick, I just want to see, I see we already have, hundreds of people on today's call. Where is everybody calling in from? I just kind of want to get a glimpse of where is everybody at right now before we get today's call started. Where is everybody right now? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. I see PR. I see Orlando, Florida. I see Miami. I see St. Louis. I see some Toronto. I see Italy in the building. Phoenix, Ohio, more Orlando, Virginia, Tulsa, Oklahoma. I was just out there actually. UK. My brother Tommy out here in Miami. Port St. Lucie, South Carolina, Georgia, multiple Georgias, Lake Como, man. I love Lake Como, Alessandro. Enjoy that over there. Wisconsin, South Africa, Virginia, Atlanta, Marco Island, Florida. We got Portugal in the building, more UK. Who we got here? We got Minnesota here, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Let's go. Charlotte. Let's go, Michelle. Big up UK, man. We got a lot of UK in the building. San Diego, California, one of my favorite places in the world. Awesome. Well, guys, thank you guys so much for calling in. Shout out to all of you, who jumped on today's call. I'm very blessed and very grateful to be here with all of you. Chicago, Chi-Town in the building. That's awesome. Well, looking forward to this call. Today's call, as you guys saw, is don't let the old man in. All right. And I'm sure you guys are wondering, well, Neno, what do you mean don't let the old man in? And this was a training that our pastor did for us this past Sunday at church. He said, don't let the old man in. And it was so powerful for me because I think it relates a lot to everything that, we're going into. So what I did was I took a little bit about what Rich Wilkerson, our pastor here in Vue Church here in Miami, said, and I aligned it a little bit with what we teach here, and I kind of mixed it both together, right, in terms of where we're all at. And I said, man, let me create a fire training around this, right, where I can mix it up and just give you guys a phenomenal training here today. And when we talk about don't let the old man in, the first quote that came to my mind was, in order for you to step into the new version of you, the old you must die. All right. In order for you, okay, to step into the new version of you, the old version of you must die. And the reason why this is so important is because stepping into a new you, stepping into a new version of you in 2025, there is some times, and I can tell you guys from experience, that old man tries to come back, the old version of me, the person that I was in 2024, that tries to come back into 2025. Old habits, old thoughts, old temptations. These old things tend to come back in a way, right? And I just want to get, by a show of numbers in the chat, put a 1 in the chat box if you guys have experienced a little bit of the old version of you trying to make its way into 2025 with you as well. Put a 1 in the chat if that's you as well. I just kind of want to see if I'm alone in this, or if it's you guys as well, right? Have any old habits or any old thoughts or any past experiences kind of followed you into 2025 as well while you're trying to step into that new version of you? And that's natural. Okay, that's natural, and it's part of the game. And that's kind of like what our pastor was explaining to us at church this past weekend. You can't let the old man in. You can't let it in. And there was something that he said that really stuck with me, and I want to share with you guys here today. He said the only people that get attacked are the people that are carrying something. Stay with me right here. Football players, right? Anybody watch football? If you watch football, the only person that is looking to get tackled is the one carrying the ball, correct? So in life, the only people that get tackled are the ones that are carrying purpose, the ones that are carrying success, the ones that are carrying things that are about to start working in their favor. So don't feel bad or don't feel like things aren't working in your favor because you're being attacked. No, the only people that get attacked are the people that have purpose, the people that want to change, that people that want to become better, the people that want to step into that new version of themselves. So the attack is good. You need to embrace it. You need to be like, you know what? This attack is good for me. Because the people who are not being attacked are the ones that are not carrying anything. The people that no one is paying attention to are the ones that are not making any progress, the ones that aren't stepping into that new version of you. But because you want to change, you're being attacked. Because you want to become better, there's people that are trying to come for you. There's things that may be that you may think that are not working in your favor, but in reality, they're working out for you. Remember what I've been talking about this year a lot: the bridge of incidents. There's a bridge of incidents. Understand that. This is key. We made a decision. Hey, we have a goal we want to accomplish by the end of the year. This is us here Thursday, January 23rd, but we have goals we want to hit by the end of the year. If you are clear on your goal by December 31st, 2025, if you are clear on it, there's going to be a bridge of incidents that happen between now, Thursday, January 23rd, and the end of the year, December 31st, 2025. There's going to be a bridge of incidents. And the key to it, remember, there's a difference between perspective and perception. Perspective is what you see. Perception is how you see it. Change your perception. I'm going to repeat that again. Perspective is what you see. Okay, we see it. We see what's happening. Good things, character building things, they're happening. We see it with our own eyes. We see it. Perspective is what we see. But perception is how we see it. Are you looking at things in a positive manner? Or are you looking at things in a negative manner? Don't let the old man in, manito. So how are you looking at it? Everything that is happening, like I always say, and I repeat it a million times throughout the year, everything happens for us, not to us. Everything is happening for us, not to us. So even the fact that, like Rich said this week, and he said, the only people that get attacked are the people that are carrying something. You got to look at that from a positive perspective, man. If I'm getting attacked this year, it's because I'm carrying something. I'm carrying purpose. I'm carrying change. I'm carrying, a consistency that's going to allow me to become better. So we got to stay in alignment with that thought and know that that old man is going to try to come back in. That old version of you is going to try to come back in because you set those New Year's resolutions. Yo, this is going to be the year that I change and I become better and I make the most money in the world. And, we've been speaking it. I don't know about you guys, but I've been speaking it. And every time I speak it on this call, I tell you guys, yo, this is going to be the best year of our lives. And when I tell you guys, hey, I want you guys to type, I accept that in the chat. All of you guys accept it. You guys are accepting that this is going to be the best year of your life. But understand this. Talk is cheap. Faith is proved through your actions. Talk is cheap. It's easy for me to be like, yo, this is going to be the best year of my life. And then I'm not doing anything. It's easy to say this is going to be the best year of my life and I'm not doing my morning routine and I'm not going to the gym and I'm not building my business and I'm not stepping out of my comfort zone. It's easy to say it. Talk is cheap. Your faith, your belief in yourself is proved through your actions. My mentor Matt always told me, he said, Nano, people watch what you say more than they say. He says, people watch more what you do than what you say. Doesn't matter what you say, it's what you do that matters. He used to always tell me that. He said, Nano, you can make it sound amazing. You could say this. Is what you do that matters. Faith is proved through your actions, familia. You got to remember that. You can't say you have faith in yourself and you have faith in God and you have faith in your business and you have faith and faith and faith and faith, but then you're doing nothing. You're waking up late. You're not reading the books. You're not building your business. You're not stepping out of your comfort zone. You can't say that. You can't. Because finish it for me in the chat, and I know a lot of you guys know the answer to this. Faith without action is blank. Finish it for me in the chat, please. Faith without action is blank. It's dead. It's dead. It doesn't even matter. You can say it all you want. It don't even matter what you say, for real. Faith without action is really dead. You could tell me, hey, Nano, I want to make more money this year, but if you're not taking no action towards it, faith without action is dead. You could say, Nano, I want to get into the best, I want to step into the best version of my body this year. But if you're not in the gym 4 or 5 days a week, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. You got to step into that. So here's what he said this weekend as well. He said something that was super key because, we always say time either will promote you or it will expose you, right? So time, there's an acronym for it. Time will promote you or it will what? Expose you. So for all of us, I want you guys to claim time is going to promote me. Time is going to promote me. I don't want time to expose any of you that are watching this right now. For the 130, 40 plus people that are on today's call right now, I want all of us to be promoted this year. This is not the year for you not to be promoted. This is the year for you to make a lot of money. This is the year for you to quit that job. This is the year for you to move to your dream condo. This is the year for you to buy that car you've always wanted and put your kids in the school you've always wanted to put your kids in, to give to that charity and to travel the world and to build your business to multiple 6 figures and to build that crypto portfolio. Whatever it is that you want, this is that year. This is not the year for for you to be exposed. I was exposed before. It's not a good feeling to get exposed. But here's it is. Time, T-I-M-E. Things I must experience. Like Dayla said in the chat, things I must experience will promote me. Because here's what Pastor Rich said. He said this weekend, he said, you will know my disciples by their fruit. We're going to know who really put the work in 3 months from now, 6 months from now, and next December is by their fruit, by the results. By their results. You got to put the work in, guys. Yesterday I posted in the chat, I posted in one of my leadership chats, my Instagram has hit new highs in terms of impressions. I had never reached over 50,000 impressions in a month. Never. I had tried so hard, but it was because of my inconsistency. And when I started to think about it, I'm like, yo, as much as, Instagram has such a, it has this thing to it where sometimes it's negative, sometimes it's positive. I'm like, yo, Instagram relates a lot to life as well, because I started to look at it. Because I was inconsistent with my posting on Instagram, my reach and my impact was limited to less than 50,000 impressions. Now look at how life works. Because I've been consistent with posting every single day or every other day, at least 5 times to 6 times a week, my impressions not only doubled, but they 10x'd. I opened my Instagram yesterday And I had over 400,000 impressions in the last month. Mind you, I couldn't break 50K before that. But now I'm at 400,000 impressions. You will know my disciples by their fruit. I put the work in. I posted every day, at least 5 to 6 times a week over the last month, which allowed me to stay true to my word in terms of what I was going to do when I started this year. I said, yo, this year I need to brand myself more. I need to be more consistent with putting my face out there. That was one of my goals. Now, it's one thing to say it. Remember, it's one thing to say it. It's another thing to do it. You see, there were a couple of times that I could have let the old man in where, there was a couple of times that I didn't want to post. And there was before I posted my Spanish reel. I don't know if you guys started seeing, but I started to post Spanish reels. Before I posted it, I was nervous. Like if I was about to speak, I'm like, Nino, why are you so nervous to post a Spanish reel? And the old man was trying to come back in like, yo, don't post it. You don't know what people are going to say. You don't know how people are going to receive it. What if people make fun of you? This, your Spanish is not that good. And that was the old man trying to come back in. I posted it, and guess what? My Spanish reels have performed even better than my English reels. But it was the old man trying to come back in, the old version of me trying to come back in and stop me from taking action towards my goals. Don't let the old man in. This is a perfect example for things that are going to happen in your life. I remember I jumped on a training once, and my sister, shout out to her, her name is Kim Torres. She ran this training called the box training. And what she did was she grabbed a book or a box, right? Consider this a box right here, right? It's more of a rectangle, but think about this. She said, people live their whole lives in this box. Okay. This box represents your comfort zone. People live and die in their comfort zones. They never step out of their comfort zones. And I remember her saying that. She said, the only way that you live the life of your dreams is when you step out of that comfort zone. But the biggest challenge is that when you step out, there's going to be people calling you back in. Like, yo, come back. Yo, Emmy, where you going? Come back to the comfort zone. Raj, don't go over there, bro. Stay here with us. Crystal, why are you going over there? Stay with us. People are going to start to critique you. Oh, look at this person. Look at that person, right? Because the thing is, when you step out of your comfort zone, naturally, people are going to start to feel affected, or they're going to feel like you're doing better than them. So guess what happens? Misery loves company. They want you to stay with them in the comfort zone. Because if you get uncomfortable, then they think, man, then I'm gonna have to get uncomfortable. And people don't want to get uncomfortable. And I remember that. And here's what happens. When you step out that comfort zone, boom, the old man tries to come back in. Yo, come back to the comfort zone. It's okay. This is where you belong. Don't worry about it. Here's where you belong, in the comfort zone. That's the old man calling you back in. Oh, you stepped out of your comfort zone for a day. Oh, it didn't work out in your favor, right? I told you you weren't meant to be that leader. I told you you weren't meant to talk to those people. You got rejected, right? You see, I told you that business wasn't meant for you. I told you that people were going to talk bad about you. Oh, you posted a reel. You didn't get the engagement that you wanted. I told you you didn't have to post that. Those are the thoughts, the silent killer in your ear, that old man. Oh, you know what? Go back in. Come back to your comfort zone. Here's where it's better. You woke up for 2 weeks early in the morning. You went to the gym. Nothing changed. Go back to waking up at the time that you were waking up. Get back to it. Oh, you stopped smoking for a couple of days. You got around around the wrong people. Now they told you to pass it to you. Now you're smoking again. You let the old man in. And I remember that training like it was yesterday. And what she said in that training, it stays with me till this day. She said, your goal is not just to step out of the comfort zone. She said, you got to keep going away from it. She said, you got to get so far away from the comfort zone, so far away from the comfort zone that you can't even see it anymore. You got to go so far away from the box that you can't even hear the whispers. You can't even hear the whispers. You can't even hear people telling you, hey, come back. And man, let me tell you, I needed to hear that so bad in that specific moment. You have no idea. It's crazy. I've heard a million trainings in my life. Million. I've been to so many events, but I remember that specific training like it was yesterday. And it always stays with me, the box training. That's what she called it. And I remember her drawing a box on the call, and the way she explained it was so beautifully, like I could never explain it as good as she did. And it's because we live in our comfort zones. She said people live and freaking die in their comfort zones. People don't like to be uncomfortable. I had to do things that made me uncomfortable. What you think waking up early, it makes me uncomfortable. You don't think posting every single day, it makes me uncomfortable. Speaking in Spanish, doing trainings in Spanish, it makes me uncomfortable. Going to the gym 5-6 days a week, it makes me uncomfortable. You gotta do what's uncomfortable until it becomes comfortable. And that's what I'm doing right now. Even for me, even still me, 7 years into my entrepreneurship journey, I'm still doing what makes me uncomfortable. But like I said, there's going to be times still to this day, even for me, that old man tries to come back in. That old man tries to come back in. Yo, come back. Yo, have this drink. Have this smoke. You know, I as you guys know, I'm doing a dry January. For the most part, it's been easy for me, to be real. I haven't been in many scenarios where people have told me to drink or smoke or anything like that, so I'm grateful. But still, even when the opportunity shows up, you think about it. You know, you think about it. Hey, yo, we're gonna grab some martinis. You want one, bro? I got you. It's on me. Nah, bro, I'm doing dry January. I'll take the water though. Yo, Neno, let's go smoke some hookah. What's up? You want to go smoke some hookah? Nah, bro, no smoking for me this month. And even though it sounds good to just smoke some hookah, whatever it is, and to just chill, nah, I can't. That's the and then you know what? I hear the old man. Yo, it's nothing, bro. It's just one. It's just one drink. It's not gonna do anything to you. Yo, it's just one smoke, bro. It's nothing. Can't let the old man in. You gotta starve that dog. The old dog, you gotta starve it. You got to starve the dog, that old dog, and you got to feed the new dog. That's what I've been doing. And that's the key. And that's what Pastor Rich this weekend talked about. He said, what dog are you feeding the most? And be real. In the first 23 days of the year, have you been feeding the old dog more or have you been feeding the new dog more? I can confidently say right now, here on this call, hand on the Bible, that I have been feeding the new dog more than I have been feeding my old dog. And it feels so good to say that. It feels so good to say that. Am I saying that I haven't fed the old dog? No, that's not what I'm saying. I have fed it a little bit, but majority of who I fed has been this new dog, this new version of Nano. My question to you is, and truthfully, can you say the same? Let this be a wake-up call. Because if your answer is yes, then you should be feeling really, really good about yourself. Okay? If the answer is no, let that be a wake-up call to be like, you know what, Nano, you're right. I need to stop feeding that old dog. I'm not even stepping out of my comfort zone. I'm not doing what's required. I'm not waking up early. I'm not reading books. I'm not journaling. I'm not writing my goals down. I'm not doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. I've been feeding that old dog still, man. Maybe this call was meant for you to listen to this message. Because the same way that I remember that training from that day that was done years ago, that hit me like a ton of bricks, and still to this day, 3 or 4 years later, I still remember it. Maybe this is the training for you. You needed to hear this training. Stop letting the old man in. Stop letting it in. And you got to ask yourself, this was something that he asked us this weekend. What are you feeding your mind, your body, and your soul every day? Remember, whatever you feed your body, your mind, body, and spirit every day is what you will see on the outward display. What are you feeding your mind? Are you feeding your mind the same things that you used to feed your mind back in 2024? Are you feeding your body the same foods? Are you feeding your soul the same sins? All the things that we once did? You got it. Remember, guys, you can't let that old man back in. The old version of you has to die for the new version of you to be born. My new version of me is still in the womb. I'm still in the womb, okay? I'm still developing myself into that new version of me. I'm not out yet. I'm not out yet. I'm still in that womb developing that new version of Nano. I'm 23 days into developing that new version of Nano, creating that new self-image of Nano. But I can't let that old man back in, because me letting that old man back in is going to slow down my progress. It's going to slow down my development. And like I said, the only people that get attacked are the people that are carrying something. You got to expect to be attacked if you're carrying something. You guys got to remember, we got to fall in love with the light and get rid of the dark. Too many of us have been in the dark for way too long. Understand that. We've been in the dark for way too long. It's time to step into the light, step into that version of you that knows what they want, that is consistently showing up for themselves, that's hungry to become better, hungry to get closer to God, hungry to read more, hungry to learn new skills, hungry to do more. Step into that version of you. That's the key. And you know what all of us have to do? We got to start setting boundaries. Because boundaries are not about restrictions, it's about protections. Boundaries are not about restrictions, it's about protection. You got to start setting those boundaries. Set them up with people in your life, with yourself, with certain things. You know, certain people in your life who have specific influence over you. Set boundaries. You know, the friend that always calls you to drink and smoke and hang out on the weekend, have boundaries. Okay. You know that girl, you know that guy that has that influence over you, set boundaries from now. Protect yourself, because you letting those people in and influence you is letting the old man back in. If you really want to make a change this year, you can't let that old man back in. You got to set strong boundaries. It's the reality of it. And you know, it's amazing how it works. You know, he was telling the story at church about how, you know, before he goes to bed, he locks every door. You know, his duty and his job before they go to bed is, you know, they have a big house, so he's locking all the doors, making sure all the windows is locked. You know, he has 4 kids, he has a wife, so his job at the end of every night is to make sure that every door is locked. But he said this one quote that really hit me. He said, "It doesn't matter how many doors you lock, the enemy just needs one for you to leave it open. It's the truth. Think about it. If somebody's gonna, rob his house, all they need is one door open or one window open, and they can get in. He could lock every door. He could lock 100 doors. But that one that he left open, that one window he left open, lets the enemy in. It's the same thing with you. It's the same thing with us. You got to set boundaries all across. That one that you let in, boom, got him. Got you. And you got to know which one that is. Protect yourself. Protect yourself. What is it that you usually fall for the most? What are the temptations that you usually fall for? Is it alcohol? Is it drugs? Is it girls? Is it boys? Is it going out on the weekends? Guys, this is not the year for that. This is the year for you to be focused on you. Put the focus on you until the focus is on you. We got to protect ourselves this year. It doesn't matter how many doors you lock. The enemy just needs one door for you to leave open. And it's in there. That's why one of the most powerful books that you can listen to, not read, listen to, is called Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. That book will open up your mind like never before. You'll never be the same after that book. And don't give up on the climb. Don't give up on this climb. This is the climb. Like 2020, guys, right now, it's January 23 right here. December 31st is up here. We got to climb up there. It's not a straight shot to the top. It's a climb. It's a climb, fam. Don't give up on the climb. Don't give up. Your thoughts should be God thoughts only. Bury the old you and step into the new you. And here's what the thing is. And here's what he said that really touched me. He said, when you start obeying God, the old man loses his grip on you. When you start obeying. Why you think I've been so tapped in right here with this? And the enemy is losing its grip on Nano. It's losing it. It's barely holding on. It's barely holding on at this point. You know why? Because I'm fighting my battles with him now. I'm no longer just leaving it up to chance or leaving it up to myself. I posted the quote that really hit me today. It said, "Those who trust in themselves are fools, but those who walk in wisdom are kept safe." Bro, I used to trust in myself. Crazy. If you look up the definition of this too, like I want to see what it says about it. Let me see. Proverbs 28 verse 26, right? Let me see what it says here. Whoever trusts in his own mind is a fool, but he who walks in wisdom will be delivered. This Proverbs warns against trusting in one's own understanding instead of encourages people to rely on God's wisdom. The Bible teaches that trusting in one's own mind is foolish because the human heart is deceitful. In ancient Israel, wisdom was highly valued, and it was understood that true wisdom comes from God. Walking in wisdom means living a life guided by God's principles and understanding. The safety mentioned in the proverb is not just physical protection, but also spiritual security. The proverb encourages people to rely on God instead of themselves to learn from others. So I read that today and I'm like, sheesh, this is it. Proverbs 28, verse 26. Those who trust in themselves are fools, but those who walk in wisdom are kept safe. I am safe because I'm protected. feel good. I feel amazing. I'm like, yes, let's go. I feel safe. And that's what it's all about. Like Jose said, bro, pray for knowledge, pray for wisdom. That's the type of time that we all have to be on. Building a better version of ourselves, growing closer relationships with God. Okay. Making sure that you don't let that old man in. Bury that old version of you. Bury that old version of you and step into that new you. And as long as you do that, everything will change for you. Stop letting that old man take hold of your life. Stop letting that old version of you come back into your life. That's not who you are anymore. Let this call be the wake-up call. Let this call be the one that says, you know what, Nano, you're right. I've been letting the old man in too much. It's time for me to step into that new version of me and only feed this version of me. And as much as you guys need this training, I need this training. Because remember, guys, I'm not perfect. This stuff is easier said than it is done. I'm not sitting here and telling you guys that the old man hasn't came in a couple of times. He has, 100%. He has came in. And I've been battling and I've been fighting with it. Because for a long time, I was feeding that old man. For a long time, because I fed him, that old man was strong. That enemy was strong in my life. Because I fed that version of me more than I fed the newer version of me. So it's a battle. And then you know what? You've been feeding that old version of you so much that it's so strong that you can't fight that battle alone. That's why we need this. Because you fed it for too long. You've been feeding it for years, not just a couple of months. It's for years that you've been fighting it. I mean, feeding it. So now it's a battle. Now it's a fight till the end. And guess what? You could lose a couple of battles, but the only thing that matters is if you win the war. You could lose a couple of battles. That's fine. I've lost battles. But with God by my side, I'm going to win the war. And I have no doubt, no worry. I'm just strengthening myself. Every day I'm reading that word, I'm strengthening myself. Every time I pick up a book and read, and every time I'm in the gym, that's all training. That's all training. Preparing myself for the battles every day. Because every day is a battle. Every day you wake up, you're battling that person. The moment your eyes open, boom, from the moment your eyes open to the moment your eyes close, you're battling that. Are you going to do what the old you would do, or would you do what the new version of you wants to do? It's a battle. That's why I start my days. First thing I do is I tap in with him. Give me the knowledge. Give me the wisdom. Sharpening the axe. Talked about this month. Sharpening that axe. I'm in the morning. I'm sharpening my axe in the morning. 3 hours in the morning. Sharpening it. Getting ready for the day so that when those trees and those obstacles and those battles come, I'm ready to go. You guys got to get ready to do the same. So to wrap up, remember, don't let the old man in. Remember that. It stuck with me. It's funny. Ever since I've heard the sermon, it's been sticking with me. Don't let the old man in, bro. Can't let it in. Can't let it in. Can't let it in. Step into that new version of you. Go bury that version of you. That's it. That's not who you are anymore. Be the uncomfortable version of you. Do what makes you uncomfortable. Go wake up early. Go get in the gym. Go build that business. Stop caring about what other people are going to say about you. Go post on social media. Go learn that skill set. Go to that networking event. Get out of your comfort zone. Go talk to people. Go do what makes you uncomfortable. Stop being so comfortable where you are. Stop. It's not going to do anything for you. You're not going to get the house that you want. You're not going to make the income you want to make. You're not going to be the example for your family that you want to be. None of it is going to happen as long as you stay comfortable. Go get uncomfortable today. Pick one thing today. Pick one thing today and get uncomfortable with it. So with that being said, I pray all of you guys have a beautiful day. If you guys got value today, put a 333 in the chat box. Eunice, that makes me so happy. God bless. I'm happy that the surgery went well. If you guys got value from today's training, put a 333. Do not let the old man in. I'm so blessed. I'm so excited. Thank you for the hundreds that jumped on today's call and got a lot of value. Man, I'm listening to myself speak and I'm listening to the training myself, and I'm like, yo, I even needed to hear that. It hit me like a ton of bricks when I heard it this weekend, and even listening to it again, it's like, it's one of those things that even hearing it again, it hits you again. Yo, don't let that old man in, just step into that new version of you and only feed that version of you. And trust me, guys, when I tell you, this will be the biggest year of our lives, it is. This is one of those wake-up calls that could really change your life. Where can we watch the sermon? Go on YouTube, look up Vous Church, VOUS, and it was this last Sunday sermon. I think it's titled "Don't Let the Old Man In," so you should be able to find it. But it's the sermon from July. Sorry, damn, I'm in the summer already. It's January 19, 2025, Sunday. This Sunday, so you'll see it there. It's there 100%. All right, guys. So I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your days. Go get uncomfortable. Pick one thing that makes you uncomfortable today. Go do it. Whatever it is, go do it. And then just let it snowball from there and watch the amazing things that happen. As you guys know, at the end of the call, I like to do a prayer for us. Today, I'm going to just practice some gratitude for us, and then we'll finish it right there. So if everybody can just bow their heads and let's pray. Father God, I just want to say thank you so much for allowing us to wake up on this beautiful Thursday morning. Because we made the wake up list this morning, we know that you are not done working on us. So thank you for our health. Thank you for your protection. Thank you for your guidance. Thank you for the knowledge and all the wisdom that you're providing us with on a day-to-day basis. Thank you for creating a community where we can all come together and learn and hold each other accountable and become better versions of ourselves. Thank you for your healing. Thank you for all the work that you're doing behind the scenes that we don't get a chance to see. Thank you for the health of our children. Thank you for the health of our family. Thank you for protecting us at all time. We just want you to know that we are grateful beyond measure and that we don't want to ask for anything today. Today, we just want to say thank you. So we love you. We appreciate you. We give you all the glory, all the praise. And in God's name we pray. Amen. All right, guys. So God bless you guys. I pray you guys have a beautiful day. Let's continue to be amazing versions of ourselves. And if you guys haven't liked this video, give it a like, leave a comment below, show love on any way you can. Share this with somebody that you feel like needs to hear today's message. Copy the link, send it to them. Hey, listen to this really quick. And, show love however way you can. And, my love is always out there. Remember, guys, I also have a podcast. If you guys don't know, that you guys can listen to on Apple, on Spotify, on YouTube. I have it as well. It's all over the place. You guys can Google it at Mornings with Nano. And any way you guys can show love and support is always appreciated, guys. Love y'all. Have a beautiful day. And I'll see you guys next week, Tuesday and Thursday. God bless. Thank you.